Hi, I'm Krista Quinn. I'm the Faulkner County Extension Agent for Agriculture, and today we're going to talk about how to plant bare root seedling trees. So this is a bare root seedling tree. You can see that it's relatively small. It doesn't have a container, any soil around its roots, and actually it doesn't have any leaves, and that's because it has been kept in a dormant state. The main advantage to planting these bare root seedling trees is that they're very inexpensive. We often order these trees through an online nursery, and they're often just $1 or $2 per tree. So they're really good if you're doing large planting projects where you need a lot of trees. There are some disadvantages though. Some of the disadvantages are that the trees are very small, and so if they're in an area where you're mowing or using weed eaters, they're easy to damage. Also, they're only available in early spring, and they need to be planted immediately when you receive them. What we recommend is that you take them out of the package that they arrived in and you soak the roots in a bucket of water for about 4 to 6 hours. And that just helps rehydrate the roots, and then they're ready for planting. So when planting bare root seedling trees, it's important to determine where the transition is between the root system and the top of the tree. You just basically look for where that uppermost root is, and that needs to be no more than 1/2 inch below the soil surface when it's planted. It is important though that you dig a deep enough hole that you don't end up bending the root when you plant it in the hole. That creates what they sometimes refer to as a J root, and that will affect the growth of the tree, negatively affect the growth of the tree. So you don't need a very big hole for a bare root seedling tree. It just needs to be deep enough that the whole root system can fit in there without bending. And it really doesn't need to be very wide at all because the roots aren't that wide. So you just place the seedling tree in the hole, making sure not to bend that root, and then just refill the hole with native soil. You don't need to add any potting soil or compost or anything like that. It's best that we just plant these trees in the native soil. You can kind of firm the soil down around the roots. Because these bare root seedling trees are small, it's a good idea to protect their trunks using a trunk guard. You can make homemade trunk guards or purchase trunk guards from nurseries. So this is just a simple trunk guard. It's plastic, kind of a corrugated plastic, and it's got a slit. And we just install this around the tree trunk like that. And this helps protect the trunk from mowers and string trimmers. It also just marks the planting locations because they're small, they're easy to kind of run over. People don't see them, so it just makes them a little more noticeable. We can really improve the survival of these bare root seedling trees if we apply a light layer of mulch around them. So we're going to put about 2 to 4 inches deep layer of mulch just right around the tree, and that's going to help hold moisture around the tree roots. It also helps keep the tree roots a little bit cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter, and is just very beneficial for the trees. We just want a light layer of mulch around the trees, just 2 to 4 inches deep. And we want to make sure that we don't let the mulch touch the trunk of the tree because that can lead to decay of the trunk. Just a nice ring of mulch that will help keep moisture around those tree roots. And then the final thing we do is we want to water the tree in to make sure we settle the soil around its roots, give it its first drink of water. Our bare root seedling tree is planted, it's been mulched, it has a trunk guard installed, and now it's just important that we continue to water this tree for the next 2 years anytime it gets dry. That will just help improve its chances of survival so that it grows to a mature full-size tree. All right, well, thanks for joining us today. I'm Krista Quinn, Faulkner County Extension Agent for Agriculture with the University of Arkansas System Division of Agriculture.